Hey Greedy 3Ders, the guys at JamgHe have sent me some of their high-speed PLA to play with, along with some of their high-speed PETG. Now I'm going to use it today and show you guys the results. They've sent me some black, some yellow and some white, which means only one thing. I'm going to be making this Wolverine helmet cowl from Dio 3D. Stay tuned. So I'm going to be doing this across a couple of printers. I'm going to be doing this firstly on my K1, and here's the overall helmet. Now it fits beautifully on the build plate of the K1, and I'm going to slice it using some tree supports. This is the orientation that I've used, which I think is going to be the best. There's the tree supports. Now the centre tree supports there, I'm not sure you actually need them, and I'll tell you why I've come to that conclusion. Well, I'll show you why I've come to that conclusion in a bit, but the tree supports are there. I've sliced it and I'm going to pop it across onto my K1 using the JamgHe. This is just normal high-speed yellow PLA, and it is wonderful stuff. I've used this a few times and I've had no problems with it. It all looks wonderful and it's going really, really well. And a couple of hours later, it's all printed and I've got a little bit of spaghetti in the middle. However, the whole thing is printed beautifully. I didn't need any supports in the centre by the look of things, because they certainly haven't done anything at all apart from cut my finger as I've tried to break them off. Now the thing I like about tree supports is they literally just pop off. They come off so easy. I did need to get a couple of clippers on them just to get some of the rough bits off, but on the whole they came off with my fingers. And do you remember the old days of taking off supports when it used to take you absolutely hours? No longer. It just pops off. I think this is a tribute to the PLA, the printer and the settings of I've used their basic Creality print. The centerpiece came out again. Didn't really need it. It's printed beautifully. Everything is wonderful. Now there's a few rough edges, of course there is. There's always going to be with any kind of PLA print like this, but we'll sort them out later. I'm doing the back of the helmet in exactly the same way, and once that's printed I'm going to move on to my Bambu Lab A1 to print the black eyepieces for it, and I'm going to be using their support settings of tree supports 2, and I'm just going to use the basic setting for PETG in this. I'm not going to change anything at all, so I've just literally put it in. I'm told it I'm using PETG. I've changed the colour to the black PETG that's sitting in my AMS, and I'm going to slice it all up, and there it is on the build plate. Not too many supports needed on here. Let's see how it prints. Let's see if it holds on to the build surface. Let's have a look at the printer I'm using. Here is the Bambu Lab A1 with its AMS. Check my review of this printer here. I think it's an absolutely fantastic machine. Now I've printed it all up, and as you can see there is some string in. This is notorious with PETG because of the high temperatures that you need to print with it, but the front surface is absolutely beautiful. I expected a little bit on the back where all the little divots are going to be, but no worries, we can get that stringing off relatively easily. The supports again just popped off. In the old days they used to be an absolute nightmare to get supports off before tree supports came into fruition, but these days with the wonderful tree supports they literally just pop off literally with your bare hands. They're excellent. So I got all the supports off, as you could see, and what a beautiful print we have been left behind with. Again, we'll come back to that string in a bit later, but the print itself is wonderful and it's just as I would have expected it to be, and there it is. Now I'm going to be using one of these little scrapers here. This is called a deburring tool. I'll put a link in the description, and this thing is great for cleaning off the edges of PLA and PETG to take the sharpness off and just remove some of those rough edges that you inevitably get with this kind of print. These things are easy to use. They are an absolute necessity. Now to get some of that fluff off, I just used a really strong firm brush and I brushed it off. You can do it with a hairdryer, you can do it with a heat gun, but I just prefer to brush it off. And once I've cleaned it all up, I printed exactly the same on the opposite side. I also printed the eye section and the chin strap, which I didn't use actually, but it's always best to have it because I may use it eventually. The next thing to do is to clean everything up, get rid of all the bits and pieces and glue it together.
printers in the room, building dreams from plastic spools. Metal and resin style, watch it print for a while. Memories and layers tight, creating wonders day and night. Greedy for the next big thing, what amazements will it bring? From the man cave in the UK, watch our videos every day. Classic marvels come to life, subscribe to see the next delight. Resin pooling just so fine, print so deep.
Now everything's glued together. I want to just give it a little bit of character. So I've just put a little bit of masking tape over the white eyes, and I'm using some of this Chaos Black. And all I'm going to do is show the helmet, the paint. I'm giving it light coats, quick hand movements with just a splattering of paint. I don't want to send it black, of course. I just want to make it look dirty. And I want to give it a general shade of black all over. I'm going to work on the detail in a little bit, but first of all, I just want it to look dirty and grubby, which I've done. Then I'm going to move on just to some black airbrush paint, and using my airbrush I'm just going to concentrate on the lines, the natural sort of layers in the helmet itself, just to make them look a little bit dirty. Now take your time with this bit. You don't have to be precise. You can make it look messy, and that's what it's all about. I don't want lines to be straight or square. I'm just going to give it a very light coat across, and there'll be a couple of areas where I go over it again, but on the whole I want to give all the nooks and crannies in the helmet and the divots a little bit of the black, just to make it look dirty. And once you've done that, it's all done. Hope you've enjoyed that today. Hope you've enjoyed and learned something potentially. Wonderful PETG and PLA. I suggest you get hold of some, and I'll put it in the description. Thank you to my Patreons. You guys are wonderful. Let's have a look at the end result. If you like what you see, you can support the channel by subscribing or joining the Greedy 3D Patreon. Let's have a look what it looks like at the end.
From the man cave in the UK, watch our videos every day. Classic marvels come to life, subscribe to see the next delight. Resin pooling just so fine, prints so detailed they look divine. From digital to the real, transforming dreams is so surreal. YouTube channel on the rise, tell your friends we hit the skies. Printing magic every day, resin fantastic leads the way. From the man cave in the UK, watch our videos every day. Classic marvels come to life, subscribe to see the next delight. YouTube channel on the rise, tell your friends we hit the skies. Printing magic every day, resin fantastic leads the way. From the man cave in the UK, watch our videos